Hi guys! Welcome back to another episode of the COVID Impact
Economic Edition.
My name is Cindy Siwenkomo.
I'm Kaylin Duplessis.
And today we're going to be talking about the impacts of COVID-19 personally and how it affected our lives and our families' lives.
Yeah, so we're just going a little bit deeper into how we were personally affected economically. And we'll just be overall talking about how the globe was affected.
Yeah, like how it affected
COVID.
South Africa as a whole. So without further ado, would you like to start us off?
Let's get started, guys.
Yeah.
So, when COVID hit, I was only in grade 9, so I wasn't personally affected economically because I didn't have a job. However, my mom was affected during COVID. She worked with the airlines such as Fly South Air, which imports
It's okay.
basically perfumes, watches, whatever. And it actually, looking at it as a whole, I realized that not just one person was affected. So obviously because of COVID, airplanes couldn't fly. And so because the airplanes were making money, my mom's company wasn't making money, which inevitably caused my mom's salaries to be cut, I think by 30-40%. So that was a big impact that my mom experienced. My dad, however, wasn't affected. So.
My mom was affected because my mom works as a data capture in a company in Woodmead, and she actually lost her job. So many people getting retrenched, and she happened to be one of them, and she lost her job, which was very unfortunate for our family's financial situation. And she was in distress and everything. And not only was she in distress, the household was in distress as a whole, you know.
When one person gets affected,
hundreds,
everyone else does.
And she was a parent, so of course her income helped us, you know. So she was really affected. And then my neighbor also lost her job, and we only discovered after we saw her moving out of her house. And then my dad went to go speak to her and ask her why are you moving out? It's COVID-19, are you sure you want to move out? And then she explained that she couldn't afford rent anymore because she actually lost her job, and she worked at a restaurant. So I understand how it affected her and how she had to move out, because other people landlords during that time were also struggling. So you can't expect them to say you can live here for free, because at the end of the day it's their job.
People still have to make money.
Exactly, they still
it's
the
unfair,
landlord,
but life is life.
Life is life. The landlord also has kids and
everyone has a
feed.
family to look after.
Hundreds. So it just happened.
I can't relate, but I have a similar story involving a local restaurant that was around my area. It was about 10 minutes away. We never really went there much, but however, when COVID hit, I think it was a few months into COVID, obviously when we were no longer allowed to go into restaurants, we found out, as my dad knew the restaurant owner, we found out that he actually could no longer afford to keep his restaurant up and running, and he actually had to close. And I think that restaurant was there for about 30-40 years, which is quite scary, because imagine one pandemic could just take out a business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not only was he affected, can you imagine the people who were working
staff,
for him?
Yeah, it's just a domino effect.
Literally, because the staff is now unemployed. Not only is he employed,
the business isn't making money. That means he's not making money, which he can't afford to pay his workers. So it's not just one thing getting affected. It's one big.
So many people are affected. Can you imagine?
And I think people don't realize that either.
No.
It's when people will be oh, at least your mom didn't lose a job, but that 34 40% that gets cut from your salary, you don't realize how big of a difference that makes.
Hundreds. No, this whole unemployment thing, I had it firsthand, and it was a shock.
I know.
It was a shock. But at least what my mom did, she saw that she physically couldn't just sit down and do nothing, considering she had to keep us in school and had to feed us. So she actually saw a gap in the market, and she started selling hand sanitizers and hand masks, and face masks, hand sanitizers and face masks. And she saw a gap in the market, and she started selling them because she couldn't just sit there, and she had to make an income for us. And I do think that was a very good thing.
People became very, very creative,
innovative. Hundreds.
I know there's a lot of negatives to COVID, but even for my mom, she used to work I think it was 9 to 4, which isn't but now she works from home, because after COVID people had the choice. it's a positive in itself.
Hundreds. Like there were some positives. Like for my family, like when my mom lost her job, you could say it was like a blessing in disguise, although we couldn't see it at that time. But like she ended up making, oh my soul, what's that? She ended up making like more money from selling hand sanitizers and hand masks because she would just raise the prices, and the prices, like people would still buy it because there was a supply and demand. We can even link it to Almond's principle of complementarity, because there was like a supply and demand. Exactly. And she would raise the prices, but like people would still buy it because they needed to like have hand sanitizers and hand masks to like protect themselves, you know. So like it was negative, but like for my family, like
it worked out. It worked out, which was actually quite good.
Everything works out for a reason.
So that was like our personal experiences and what we just like got from our 2021 experience from COVID.
Like although we weren't like affected personally,
we were still affected like secondary effect, like
secondary collateral damage.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not collateral damage, but like we were affected as well.
Yeah, because
not like as a primary.
No, secondary, because like our parents were affected, and we are still.
And also put like quite a bit of stress on like my parents, because my dad was then like the breadwinner of the family, so he was like constantly stressed, you know, is it like, will there be enough for this month? And it was just a tough time, guys.
Yeah, like, and my mom was the breadwinner,
and like I feel like I didn't realize how crazy it was, because I was living my best life during COVID. No school,
I mean
online, I sleep in. So moving on from this,
now we're gonna take to like a South African point
so we're
of
just
view,
gonna give like an overall view, like perspective of just like how South Africa was personally affected. So one of, I think, like the biggest things, especially for South Africa as a whole, was government finances. And COVID actually took a very big hit on it. So the government finances actually decreased by like quite drastically. It went actually from 1.385 billion in 2019 to 2020 to 1.29 billion, and overall it decreased by 95 billion rand, which is like, I know, which I think actually shows even like post COVID,
like people are still affected like right now still,
because like my mom, even after like a year and a half, she only got her salary, like her full salary back, like after a year and a half of it, because it took so long for everyone to like reset, come back.
And then like also with regards to the QLFS, which is basically the quarterly labor force survey, like unemployment rates expanded by 4.73%. Guys, the unemployment rate in South Africa is already high.
It was already bad.
So can you imagine
this is like worsened.
Like, can you imagine it, like 4.37 more people becoming unemployed? Like that's not really, and
it wasn't like small jobs, it was like big jobs, like people in like big companies and that were getting retrenched.
No, it was hectic. Like
so another thing, also not relating to unemployment rate, but rather local businesses closing down. So it was reported that a total percentage of 4.27% that businesses closed down, which I think is crazy, because when you think about how much that is, it's like almost half of, like, it's nearly 50% of businesses closing down, and that's, I don't even know when, like, that is a lot of unemployment. Like I think that also like helped the unemployment rate. I think that like really increased it.
It did. And also like I know like big businesses were like affected. Also informal businesses were literally affected, because although like informal sectors only form 25% of the employment rates of South Africa, 1 in every 2 net job losses happen because of these informal settlements, because these informal sectors, they sell to people and they get their money by interacting with people.
So when that was cut off, it pretty much cut off
like them. Lockdown, pretty much, like they couldn't make any business because there was no one there, you know.
So I'm gonna touch on one last thing. This is mainly relating to household. Okay, so now that we've shared all this information with you, we've kind of come to a conclusion, and do you want to share that with us?
Like, economically, COVID had very bad impacts. Like most people lost their jobs, businesses went down. But like there were some positive impacts. Like I can say, like in my family, there were positive impacts. And the social distress grant, I know it's not much, but like they were.
It was something.
It was something.
I do feel that like South Africa could have done more. But I guess with like what they had and what we were dealing with, it was what they could provide at the moment.
Exactly. And no one anticipated this. No one knew how to deal with this. There's never been something like COVID in the past, so everyone was having it was literally everyone's first time doing everything. So
okay, so this is all that we have to share with you. We hope this is we hope you found this informative.
Thank you so much.
This is all.